They tried to destroy you, but something terrible happened. You need to see this. Archangel Michael says, the air has shifted tonight, and a dark silence surrounds your name. Those who once smiled in your presence were secretly planning your downfall behind curtains soaked in envy. They underestimated the force protecting you. Now something unexplainable is unfolding behind their closed doors. What was meant to harm you has reversed like a blade recoiling back to the hand that threw it. Someone thought they could manipulate your destiny, but instead, they've triggered a divine rebuke they can't escape. You must understand that this is no coincidence. This is divine retaliation taking its course. At the center of this storm was one person who carried your image into places of destruction. They laughed while holding secrets about you and convinced others to turn against your light. But what they didn't know was that your name had been whispered in the presence of angels. A mirror has shattered in their world, and it carries the reflection of everything they once plotted against you. Their nights are no longer peaceful, their rooms echo with the cries of consequence. Your absence in their life has become the biggest curse they never expected. Comment now if this is already making sense. The very people who tried to destroy your confidence are now being exposed for their true intentions. Doors they forced shut in your life are now slamming in theirs without mercy. They opened portals of pain, but they now drown in the very waters they dug for you. Whispers of your name are now wrapped in guilt and regret among them. Someone's health is deteriorating, and it's tied to the cruel choices they made with your name on their tongue. What was once a game to them is now their undoing. Archangel Michael says, they used you as a sacrifice for their own gain, but heaven never approved. The circle they thought would protect them has turned against them, scattering like shadows running from fire. A terrifying event has struck one of them, and now they're begging in silence, trying not to be seen. They pretended to be loyal, but their energy never matched their words. The moment you started distancing yourself, everything in their life began to fall apart. This isn't karma, it's divine correction, swift and sharp. They underestimated how covered you are. You were never alone, even in the moments when they mocked you for being silent. Their greatest mistake was thinking your kindness was weakness. It was your sword hidden in patience. Type Amen to get blessing 333. A woman among them tried to use your pain as a ladder to rise above you. She copied your ideas, manipulated your words, and wanted others to believe she was the original. But today, her mask is cracking under pressure she cannot control. She thought taking what was yours would make her powerful. But what she took was not yours, it was your burden, and now it has chained her down in secret suffering. Her eyes are swollen from crying at night, but she keeps smiling to the world. There is a man who stood behind this destruction with a smile sharper than any blade. He turned your vulnerabilities into a joke, circulating twisted versions of your truth. But now, the same crowd he entertained is laughing at his fall. He lost something he never thought could be taken from him, something so precious he can't even speak of it. A connection, a status, or maybe even a blessing that was once his, now erased. And the moment your name returned to his mind, so did his nightmares. Comment if you feel the weight of this message. They paid someone to silence your influence. They plotted to ruin your voice, your future, and your peace. But what they didn't know is that while they whispered curses, angels were already reversing them. Your tears did not go unnoticed. Heaven recorded your silence as a sacred scroll of strength. Now those scrolls are unrolling, and their names are written in pages of accountability. The trap they set for you was a spiritual grave, but the ground rejected you. Instead, the floor beneath them opened, swallowing their intentions in broad daylight. Even those who pretended to stay neutral are facing the ripple effects of this collapse. Someone saw this coming, a seer or a stranger, who warned them to stop. But they were drunk on arrogance and power, and now they sit in confusion, wondering how everything they built is collapsing so fast. Their prayers are being ignored. Type Amen to get blessing 775. One of them is sick, but the doctors can't explain what's wrong. Another is losing wealth at an alarming pace, yet their bank shows no error. A third has vanished from the spotlight completely, and rumors have begun to surface. They had no idea that every time they slandered your name, they were carving into their own timeline. The blessings they had were borrowed, and now the owner has returned to reclaim them. And in the middle of this, your name rises, not in shame, but in honor. You're being talked about again, but this time, it's different. It's not gossip, it's admiration from those who once doubted you. People are returning to you, secretly watching your journey from the shadows, regretting every moment they didn't believe in you. You were the vessel that held power, even when you had nothing. And now, because you endured what was meant to break you, heaven is placing a new title on your head. You are no longer the victim of their schemes, you are the prophecy they feared would come true. Comment if you're ready to receive what they tried to stop. Archangel Michael says, their fear wasn't you, it was the version of you that was about to rise. They saw glimpses of your glow and couldn't handle the idea of you being above them. So, they tried to erase you before your moment came. But now that moment has arrived, and they can't look away. You've become the very thing they can't stop watching, and it haunts them. They are seeing visions, hearing echoes, and feeling energy that reminds them of your presence. Their sleep has become their courtroom, and each night they relive what they did. Someone even tried to reach out, but couldn't bring themselves to confess. Another blocked you, thinking it would disconnect their consequences, it didn't. Your spirit is being restored like a cathedral rebuilt after fire. Brick by brick, moment by moment, everything they broke is returning stronger. But this time, it's not just being rebuilt, it's being sanctified. Type Amen to get blessing 111. They are experiencing breakdowns because their lies are catching up in places they thought were safe. The people they lied to are beginning to ask questions. One confrontation has already happened, and it ended in embarrassment. The truth is leaking, and they can't stop it. Even if they delete the evidence, the whispers remain. Someone close to them has already betrayed them, passing the truth to someone else. One of them tried to run, leaving the city or changing their surroundings. But the energy follows them like a shadow that can't be outrun. The further they move, the closer the truth gets. Comment if this sounds like something unfolding in your life. Another person involved in your betrayal is now begging for protection. They are seeing faces in their dreams and feeling chills during the day. A cold breeze follows them even when windows are closed. Archangel Michael says, your name has become fire in their mouth, it burns every time they speak it. They tried to speak death, but you were already marked for life. That mark is glowing now, and it's calling favor into your direction. They wanted to see you beg, but now they're the ones searching for answers. And every step they take trying to erase their past only leads to more exposure. A screen recording, a voice note, or a signed letter, something undeniable is about to surface. Type Amen to get blessing 888. They did rituals with your name. They whispered it during moments of darkness. But instead of breaking you, it awakened something ancient inside you. Now, you're being pulled into divine inheritance. Lands, opportunities, relationships, once blocked, are opening like rivers after a dam breaks. You're stepping into what was always yours, untouched by their interference. What looked like delay was preparation. What looked like abandonment was redirection. And now, divine justice is no longer coming, it has arrived. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The people who once mocked your silence are now being silenced themselves. They tried to destroy your name, but it's their own reputation that is now slipping like dust through trembling hands. What they unleashed into the world has returned, more furious, more focused, and it's locked onto them. Somebody has been having visions, dark visions, of something collapsing. Their intuition is screaming, but they don't know how to stop what's already been put into motion. Because the moment they tried to bury your truth, the seeds of divine justice began to grow under their feet. You have been chosen not only to survive but to witness what happens when heaven rises to defend you. The things they whispered in secrecy are being repeated in public, but with the full truth now exposed. No matter how hard they try to control the narrative, their shame cannot be hidden anymore. Comment below if you feel this energy resonating with your soul right now. A strange illness has fallen upon someone connected to your betrayal. It started as a small fatigue, but now it has grown into something the doctors can't explain. What they thought would break you is now crawling back into their body like invisible fire. One of them had dreams of wealth by stepping over your shoulders. They tried to make deals with people who hated you, thinking it would boost their own success. But their bank accounts are freezing, their projects are collapsing, and their phone is full of unanswered messages. Even people who supported them are beginning to distance themselves. The circle that once laughed about you is now filled with suspicion and tension. Some are starting to confess their part in the scheme to avoid the consequences about to crash down. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Someone you loved was used as a weapon against you. They were convinced to believe lies, and in doing so, they became part of the setup. But now their conscience is breaking, what was done to you is haunting them every night. They scroll through old messages, hoping they can make sense of where it all went wrong. They see your photo and remember what they gave up, what they mocked, and what they didn't protect. Their silence now feels heavier than any punishment. A woman in their group is falling apart emotionally. She thought stealing your light would bring her fame or admiration. But now she is being accused of things she never expected, because her energy attracted more destruction than power. She copied your words, tried to become you, and now the audience is realizing something is off. They're turning away from her, and she is crumbling under the pressure of pretending to be someone she never could understand. Comment now if you feel like this message is written for your spirit. Someone is searching your name online, over and over, trying to see if you know what they did. They're worried you'll expose them, that you'll speak. But what they don't know is that heaven is already speaking on your behalf. People who once rejected you are now defending you in private conversations. They're questioning everything they were told, because your energy speaks truth without needing to shout. You were silent, but your silence became a roar in the spirit realm. Archangel Michael says, what they tried to hide will now be brought to the surface by fire. They used dark hands to destroy your light, but now their own shadows are turning against them. They tried to act like they didn't care, but the weight of what they did is pulling them apart. Type Amen to get blessing 666. You were always protected. Your heart, even when broken, carried a light that could not be erased. Now, heaven is aligning every force to elevate you into a space no enemy can touch. There is going to be a message, a letter, or a phone call that confirms everything. Someone close to your betrayer is coming forward, not for you, but because their own guilt has become unbearable. They are going to tell the truth, and it will shake the roots of the entire plan. You won't have to defend yourself anymore. You won't need revenge. The truth will walk in and speak on your behalf, and all you'll need to do is sit in the calm power of divine favor. Comment below if you're ready to let divine justice speak for you. They're seeing signs everywhere now. License plates with your initials. Dreams where your face won't stop appearing. Sounds, voices, numbers, reminders of your presence that disturb their sleep. They tried to erase you from their lives, but now you live in their minds rent-free. And not as a memory, but as a consequence. You've become a symbol of what they lost and what they can never regain. One of them went as far as involving dark energy, thinking that rituals would keep you weak. But the ritual backfired. Their peace shattered. Their environment now feels haunted, not by spirits, but by regret. Type Amen to get blessing 199. The same hand they used to curse you is now trembling every time they try to lift a glass. Their words no longer hold weight. Their voice, once loud in lies, is now shaky in silence. People are asking questions. Those around them are starting to suspect the truth. Someone even warned them not to mess with someone protected, and now they remember those warnings like echoes of doom. You, on the other hand, are glowing differently now. You're not even trying, and yet, people are drawn to you again. You've been elevated in ways even you didn't expect. Comment if this season is showing you who's truly meant to be in your life. They thought you'd need them forever. They thought you'd break without their approval. But you healed in silence, and now your energy is untouchable. You're walking into spaces they tried to block you from. You're being welcomed by people they told lies about you to. And those people? They now admire you, not them. Their greatest fear wasn't losing you, it was seeing you win without them. And now, that fear is being lived out daily. Type Amen to get blessing 1010. Their downfall isn't just physical, it's spiritual. They wake up with anxiety they can't explain, a tightness in their chest when your name comes up. The very energy they tried to crush in you is now surrounding them, pressing down on their world. What they planned behind closed doors is now being replayed in front of witnesses. Even the ones who weren't part of it are pulling back, fearing they'll be next to fall. Nobody wants to be near a cursed circle, and that's exactly what they've become. Someone is crying behind fake smiles, begging for this weight to be lifted, but the truth is, there's no shortcut to escaping divine consequence. They must walk through the fire they set, step by step. And the worst part? They know exactly why it's happening. Comment if you feel their exposure is just beginning. A legal problem has arisen unexpectedly for them. Documents have gone missing, lies are being uncovered, and a voice note from the past has been recovered. It has your name in it, and it doesn't lie. They're panicking now, reaching out to people they previously cut off. The same ones they used to spread darkness, they now call for help. But no one's answering the phone. One of them had a dream last night of being in a courtroom with no lawyer, no support, and your face on the other side, calm and protected. That wasn't just a dream. It was a glimpse into what's coming. Type Amen to get blessing 414. They can't unwrite what they wrote. They can't unspeak what they whispered. The universe has recorded it all, and the echo is louder than they ever expected. Your spirit is now surrounded by reinforcements, spiritual shields, divine light, ancestral voices. They tried to break you, but all they did was activate forces that slept in silence for too long. Now, your name is being carried by winds of transformation. People are speaking about you in rooms you haven't entered yet. And the opportunities they tried to hide from you are circling back, stronger and undeniable. Comment if you're ready to reclaim what's yours. One of them laughed when you cried. Another one celebrated when you failed. But tonight, they can't sleep, they're tossing and turning, haunted by the memories of those very moments. They're not sorry because they believe they were wrong, they're sorry because they are losing everything. Their victory has become a prison, and they are locked inside the walls they built to keep you out. A sudden illness will expose the truth. Someone is going to be forced to speak, not by guilt, but by the pressure of divine exposure. And once the first crack appears, the entire story will fall like a collapsing tower. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. They wanted your voice to go silent, but now your silence is the loudest sound in their world. You're not chasing anyone. You're not begging for truth. You're just rising, and it's killing them softly. Archangel Michael says, your protection is increasing. You're being covered by invisible warriors who stand at every doorway in your life. And now, those trying to enter with wrong intentions are being stopped before they can even knock. Someone has tried to check your energy lately. They stalk your photos, your posts, your movements, looking for weakness. But what they feel instead is a wall of light they can't penetrate. Comment now if this sounds like the shift you've been feeling around you. They thought time would make everyone forget. But time did the opposite, it healed you and exposed them. Time gave you strength and stole theirs. The world they tried to build on your destruction is crumbling. Friends are turning, money is vanishing, opportunities are drying up. And all they have left is the memory of who they used to be before they hurt you. You are walking into a season of quiet restoration. Behind the scenes, your blessings are multiplying. And very soon, it will be loud, too loud for your enemies to ignore. Type Amen to get blessing 3333. A woman who played a major role in your pain is losing favor quickly. Her charm no longer works. People around her are beginning to question her every word. She tried to replace you, to become you, to erase you, but now she's struggling to even hold herself together. The mirror she once admired herself in now reflects the truth she never wanted to face. You were the original, the blueprint, the divine assignment. And the world is beginning to see that no copy will ever compare. Your absence made them realize what they had, and lost. Comment if you feel the power of identity returning to you. They've seen signs already. Car accidents narrowly avoided, deals that suddenly vanish, strange breakdowns at odd hours. It's not coincidence, it's the cost of touching what was divinely guarded. One of them is being haunted by a message. They wrote something about you, mocking you, cursing you, and now that message is being shared. A screenshot, a voice memo, a private group chat, it's all unraveling. And in this unraveling, you will not need to defend yourself. Because heaven is your lawyer, and your silence is your strongest witness. Type Amen to get blessing 50-50. Someone once called you a curse. Now, they see you were the blessing. They thought removing you from their circle would make them happier, but their life has grown colder ever since. Your absence wasn't just noticeable, it was transformative. Because when you left, your light left with you. And that darkness they now feel is their own. Someone's finances are falling rapidly, like sand through their hands. They used to walk with confidence, but now every step feels shaky. That's because when they tried to steal your peace, they also forfeited their own. Comment below if you know their loss is part of your rising. The story is turning now. Everything they thought they controlled is spinning out of reach. Even their influence is starting to fade, replaced by whispers of what they did to you. People who once turned against you are returning, not because they're saints, but because the truth is too loud to ignore. They want back into your life, but you now have the power of discernment to decide who stays and who goes. Archangel Michael says, no one can sit at your table if they brought poison to your last meal. The next season of your life will be guarded like a vault, and only the chosen will gain access. Type Amen to get blessing 818. They hoped you'd lose your mind, your faith, your drive. But you found clarity instead. You found peace in places they didn't even know existed. They watched from afar, waiting for you to crumble. But every step you took was a declaration of resilience. And now, even the ground they walk on feels unstable. Comment if this message is giving you the strength you knew you had but forgot.